Last time I was leaving Silver, it was a far more sober occasion. I was parked right up there on the side of the road because that's as close as I dared to get to Tranquil Buzz, with a big long truck and a big old trailer. I'm a little calmer today. Alright, so I'm kind of leaned down by the side of the car here, trying to stay out of the rather vigorous wind. We came south out of Silver from that direction. I'll have to stand up here in a second so I can at least show you a quick shot of the mountains and a 360. But we came down through Bayard and Hurley on the road to Deming. We're probably not going to quite get to Deming, but land out here nice and cheap, and as you can see, there's a reason for that. Not much water, not much in the way of trees, any of that stuff. And then the prices tend to rise as you go a little bit back north towards Silver. But the mountains here are pretty. Now we're looking west. This little road that we turned off on goes to City of Rock State Park and Faywood Hot Springs. And then the big road, more or less, goes south to Deming. And the western view is looking back towards Highway 90 and our land. Down in the land of the mesquite, as opposed to the pinyon and the juniper. So let me give you a quick orientation here. We just jumped off the 180, which is the road that runs this way, north and south. North to Silver, of course. The road that we turned off onto is a little tiny road that there's almost never a reason to take, called New Mexico 26. And we're taking it just because we can. We're not in any hurry. It's a road that's, well, I haven't been on it in years. The Spooksta's never been on it, so we're just kind of filling the New Mexico, land of beef and wind. Welcome to Hatch, New Mexico, self-styled chili capital of the world. Piece of I-25 southbound. That's the Rio Grande down there. So if you should decide to visit a Starbucks at all, please don't do this. You're on the very northern outskirt edge of Las Cruces suburban hell. What you should do instead of oleato, which means dunking olive oil into your coffee, which not only does it not sound good, it doesn't do that much for you. Instead, what you really want to do is throw a teaspoon or even less of some nice organic grass-fed butter into your coffee and add some MCT oil, which is a special kind of coconut oil. Coconut oil itself can work well too. So that's going to give you this velvety, lush thing that they're promising you that olive oil will, but it will do two other things. Number one, that MCT oil is just incredibly good stuff for general inflammation, and the butter will put some fat in your system early in the morning so that you can push your eating window, which you want to make as short as possible, well into the afternoon. And in fact, that's what we're doing today as we make this quick little stop, is getting our breakfast burritos from back in Silver City out of the bag and munching down on them. It is after 2 o'clock, so that means that with an 8-hour eating window we can close out the midnight snacks at around 10 p.m. and still be on a 16/8 intermittent fast. I'll probably have to explain all that in a little more depth, the reasons why, etc., sometime down the line. East. Driving in the Frontera lands. La migra. Guess we'll be cutting quite a bit of this out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Trucks say honor first. I guess we got by so quickly because we look like we're from Mexico.
Now hiring. Maybe it was a monument and those signs are still up. So there's some debate, even amongst the road signs, about whether White Sands is a national park or a national monument. My guess is that it was a monument that has been upgraded to a park. There's the part of it that you can see without going through the fee gate. We're hanging out at the gift shop. I'm pretty sure the season is going to last a little longer than was originally intended. This is Alamogordo, New Mexico. This is my second time here, at least for an overnight. We're 4,200 feet maybe, and I'm having the same reaction to the place that I had the first time around when I was here long ago for a job interview. And that is, there's really no particular reason that I should match up well or like Alamogordo. There's a missile base up the road. There's an Air Force base even closer. And I think those are probably the top two socioeconomic attractions to Alamogordo. Followed for a distant third by pistachio farming. The hills around the town are mostly, in the first rank, dry and barren looking. You can get a good idea of it right there. But if you look up behind the first rank of hills to the serious mountains beyond, you can tell that there's trees up there. And that's true for a while. From down here, quite far south, to some impressive peaks of the Lincoln National Forest up near Cloudcroft and Ruidoso. In that Lincoln Forest, by the way, was 70 years ago maybe, found a orphaned bear cub who went on to become the mascot known as Smokey the Bear. Anyway, I'm spending a lot of time examining little towns and their pluses and minuses. None of that is particularly relevant. We've already picked our town. But this is a YouTube channel, so it should be good for more than just us. The YouTube channel is definitely evolving. When I first started it out some months ago, when I was living in a rental in Silver, the focus was overwhelmingly anarcho-belletristic, as it says in the header image. Now, in a sense, it's more of a health channel. In the very broadest sense possible. Exercising properly, going for those walks every day, eating better food, and maintaining availability to it, as in the ceviche last night. Housing, affordable options, sustainable options for housing, including things like arch cabins and adobes, and also mobile versions of that. Tarping up, tenting up, building out RVs. Health, both physical and spiritual. With a focus on specificities. Yes, towns in general, but right now, Holbrook in particular, and eventually Silver in particular. But we're never going to come in off the road permanently. We're never just going to settle. Although when we do, we're going to settle in style. What we've done to the world.